This is Scott the Fix-It Guy. Our goal with our videos is to empower you to be able to do the repairs on your own and save a whole lot of money and also get that great feeling of having fixed it by yourself.
Today we have a Bosch dishwasher that is not melting the soap and not getting the dishes clean. So oftentimes it's due to a problem with the fill valve not letting in enough water. And when you can't get enough water, the dishwasher just doesn't do really good. Here's the fill valve right here. It's really easy to change on this model. One way you can test it is you can put a cup in the upper rack like this one and run it for about 10 minutes. I did that and I found that there was no water in the cup, and also the soap was not getting melted, and the water level should be about to the top of this ring, but it's only about halfway up. So when the computer lets in water, not enough is getting in. It could be due to a worn out fill valve, or the filter in the fill valve might be clogged. So I'm going to unplug it. I'm going to turn off the water underneath the sink by turning to the right clockwise, righty-tighty, as tight as I can get it. And then I'll use a pair of pliers to undo the water line coming to the fill valve. I'm going to open the door almost all the way to give me a little bit more room to work. You can also remove the front panel, but it takes a little longer. It seems like it's easier just to open the door. So I'm going to unscrew this compression fitting. I'll put a little paper towel underneath because some water will come out. On this model, again, it's really easy to do this procedure. These fill valves are only about 30 bucks. We'll put a link in the description below for Amazon. So these are Torx 15 screws. I'm zipping them out. And then I can just pull the fill valve out and disconnect the electrical connector and disconnect the water line. So I'm going to pull the electrical connector off. There we go. And then I'll use a pair of pliers to take the spring clamp and squeeze it, move it back by about an inch. And then I can grab the hose tightly and then wiggle the fill valve, twist and pull to get that to come off the hose. There we go. A little water will come out. Here's the new fill valve. Yeah, they're pretty inexpensive. And here is the elbow that doesn't come with the new one, so I have to take it off the old one. I grabbed the fill valve with a pair of vice grips. I'm using pliers to spin off the brass elbow. And once it's off, I'll take a look in there and see if I can see any crud. From the top it looks pretty good, but this is translucent. You can kind of see in from the side, and when you see in from the side, you can notice that, man, most of the filter is blocked with this black stuff. Might be rubber from the compression fitting or dirt that got pushed downstream from the water company. So I'm going to pull this Teflon tape off of the old elbow. I'm only going to put Teflon tape on the bigger aspect of this, not the smaller one. And wrap around about 4 or 5 times. Get it nice and tight on the threads, and then I'll feed it in and spin it hand tight. Then I'll grab with the vice grips and I'll spin it so that it lines up the same way it was before, where it's in line with the green solenoid. So they're both pointing the same way. There we go. And then I can install it. So look at the new one. It doesn't have any junk in there at all. Nice and clear. The old one is like, man, probably 60-70% occluded. So it's not letting in enough water. There's not enough room. So I'm going to push the tube back on, kind of twist and push. I'll actually grab the line with a pair of pliers So I gotta get that all the way in as far as it'll go. And then I'll use the pliers to depress the spring clamp and get the spring clamp put back on. There we go. And now I can feed the fill valve back through the frame, and then I'll put in the electrical connector. The electrical connector can only fit in one way, so keep playing with it until it feels like it's going to go in, and then push it all the way in as far as it'll go. It'll pretty much click into place. Now we can add those two Torx 15 screws to hold in the bracket against the frame. There we go. And then I'll go ahead and make sure the electrical connectors on there tight. Put the compression fitting back on. So I just put the threads in position, and then I'll push in on the line and spin the nut with my left hand to feed it on. I'm going to feed it on, and then I'll use the pliers to get it tight. So go ahead and get this one really tight. This is doesn't have the Teflon tape. It just uses a rubber compression fitting to get a watertight seal. Get that all the way on, and once you have it, you can go ahead and turn the water back on and then plug it in and take it for a test. This is a pretty easy procedure on this machine. So lefty-loosey, you're going to go counterclockwise all the way open as far as it'll go, and that's going to give you the best water pressure, and then we'll plug it in. And then we can give it a test. So I'm going to drain out the water first. I'm going to reset it. I'll press this button for 3 seconds. This is the start button. 1, 2, 3, and that will reset the computer, and also it'll drain out any water that's in there. Probably a good thing to do before you test the cycle. So here is the little cup I put in there prior to the test. Close it, turn on the power. I'm going to pick the heaviest duty cycle there is. Also, I want to test the heater, so I'm going to, once I get it over there to heavy wash, I'm going to also press the sanitize button, and that will give us the hottest wash possible, because I want to make sure there's a lot of steam that comes out. Go ahead and start it, and then take a little time for it to fire up. Just showing the customer here that all the junk that was caught in there. Customer had a good point. They said, is this, oh yeah, now we're testing it. We opened it up after 10 minutes, and it's all the way full, and all the soap had been melted, so that totally fixed it. It just needed a new fill valve to allow more water to come in. Yeah, they said, could I just fix this myself? And I said, yeah, you can remove the fill valve. Instead of getting a new part, you can remove the screws, and then you can clean the filter. Just pull it out with a pair of pliers. But a lot of stuff caught in there. And that just blocks the amount of water that can come in the given amount of time the computer lets the water come in. And it just doesn't let enough come in. So if you clean that and put it all back together, it'd probably work. We can see now that there's tons of water. It's actually slightly higher than the filter handle. That's great. So that's exactly what you want. And should operate like new now. More mechanical action to wash the dishes, and it should melt the soap. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for watching our video. We really appreciate your support. And when you get a chance, please press the subscribe button below so you can be subscribed, and also the notification bell so we can send you more videos about appliance repair.
Please also give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. If you really liked the video and it really helped you, please press this new applaud button and you can show your support and also get a nice clapping hands for your video. Thanks again.